Hey, everybody. It's 2 o'clock. It is a Thursday. It's the Bullpen. I'm Tony Mack. That's Tricky Ricky. He's very defeated.
But the buttons should just work. You hit the button and noise comes out as a result.
Look, man, don't beat yourself up. It's basically our Friday. We're going to get to go bring in the new year, hopefully, like everybody else. I know there's a lot of people that don't have as much to do at work right now that they would typically any other time that wasn't a holiday. So if we can be your break for an hour today, we would love to do that. Normally we're on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but since we didn't have a show yesterday, we were supposed to do some inventory on Tuesday, but we ended up having to do it yesterday instead, so we weren't able to come on. So we're coming on today to make sure that you guys have something this week, right? And still have me and Ricky to listen to. We've got plenty to talk about. The Christmas Light Show, if you haven't been to the Christmas Light Show yet, it is not over just yet. It ends on January 2nd. So make sure that you check that out. But if you haven't gotten to check it out yet, the Christmas Light Show is still going on until January 2nd from 5 until 9. Did you fix it?
Powered by Riverside.
All right, restarted. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I can't hear anything.
No, you're not going to hear. Don't worry about it. Only I can hear it. But trust me, it's good. This is good.
We're good?
We're great. This is fantastic.
Like I said, it's Thursday. We're hanging out with you guys today. We typically
Wish it would have worked a minute ago.
do this on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But we're hanging out with you for an hour today, and we got plenty to discuss. So let's go ahead and jump on into it right now, which is something that I'm living currently in my life. We like to talk about sports. We also just like to talk about what's going on in our world, as it would probably relate to a lot of you as well. As you know, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, and I am dealing with the big question, which is when do I put my Christmas decorations away? When is the appropriate time to do that? Your house has been decorated for Christmas since June 1st.
June 1st of 1999. Yeah.
You've been decorated for Christmas for a while. So when do you and when do you finally negotiate that Morgan put up her Christmas decoration?
I think all the stuff's coming down after this weekend.
After,
I think. Typically, she wants everything down on the 26th. I've never been that kind of guy. Like the lights makes me happy.
Oh, really? She's the one who wants decorations up so early. But day after Christmas, she's ready to tear them down.
Take it out.
Done.
I said, not even like New Year's. New Year's is pretty much like, you celebrate the holiday season that week after Christmas all the way up to New Year's. Can't we just leave it up a little bit? And I think she felt the joy as well. The deadline was cut from the 26th, moved back into 2023. But I don't know if it's going to make it the first week of the year. It's probably coming down. What are you looking at?
I'm the same way. I like after Christmas Day, they don't become Christmas lights. They become Christmas break lights, right? Like they go through Christmas break. So beginning of the year, I'm not going to take them down on the day before I come back to work. We're off on Monday. So I'm not going to take them down on Monday. That's the last thing I want to do on my last day off is work around the house. So I'll probably take them down. I'm going to the Music City Bowl with my dad and my brother on Saturday.
Who's playing in that?
Kentucky and Iowa. My dad's a Kentucky fan.
Sick.
So we're going there, and then so I'll probably take them down on New Year's Day, Sunday.
Okay.
That way, I got the rest of Sunday afternoon to hang out with my wife and Oliver, and then Monday as well. I don't have to worry about it. Now, the inside decorations, I'll help my wife take those down, but when those come down, that's up to her. I'm talking about the Christmas lights outside. The inside decorations, whenever she's ready to take them down, I'll help her take them down. Those probably won't start coming down until like middle of January.
We're going to have to call in lumberjacks at our place. We have 30 trees.
Yeah, you've got a lot. They keep multiplying too. How many more trees have you gotten since we last spoke about trees?
I can't even find the restroom anymore.
Why don't you just use the tree?
I might as well. I've been peeing on the same Christmas tree for 2 weeks. And it's time to put that tree away. I don't care so much about the other decorations, but that one for sure. Maybe just go ahead and put it on the curb.
Another thing about Christmas decorations and holiday lights, again, like I just mentioned, I'm a dad and a husband. Dad jokes and puns are funny, right? I like them. I like a little knee slap joke that makes everybody else go, oh, God, what are we doing? Stop, shut up. Those are funny to me. I like those, right? However, it's time to put a stop to the one dad joke that we get every single time this year. I've already seen it on Facebook a few times.
And that is?
You don't already know?
I'm not a dad.
It's 364 days until Christmas, and these people already have their Christmas lights up. Makes me sick. We're that one's retired. It's past its date. It's expired. We're done with that one. Now, there are a few people personally that I know that when they hear this, they know I'm talking about them because they've posted this already. It's done.
That's a hot take, huh? You're calling out some buddies here.
Yeah, it's done. That joke is expired.
Do you get like a dad newsletter? How do you become aware of these things?
That'd be a good idea.
Be kind of cool.
I do not have a dad newsletter, but that'd be good.
What would you call it?
I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, it'd be a good one though. Dads, the bi-monthly newsletter
Bi-monthly
for having a child and being a dude.
Just being a dad, man.
Yeah, not too many. Not a weekly thing. Bi-monthly feels right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, does that mean twice a month or every other month?
Twice a month.
Mm.
I think, yeah.
We might have to be every other bi-monthly.
I feel
because dad ain't out here trying to get 24 letters in the mail a year.
No,
and we're not doing it digitally either. Getting a letter in the mail.
Although
there's going to be a stamp on this thing.
Although getting something in the mail that's not a bill brightens your day. Whether it be like some companies that you may have done business with, bought a house from or something, will send you a little birthday card or like a free cupcake coupon on your birthday or something.
Mm-hmm.
Getting stuff like that in the mail, like a thank you. Or I got a million of these this year, including from you. Save the dates or something.
Yeah,
love getting that stuff in the mail because it's not a bill. You see it, and you're like, oh, hey, someone actually, like a real person, wrote this specifically to me.
Dad's newsletter every other bi-monthly, and you get a coupon for a fully loaded baked potato somewhere in town.
Mm.
You know, half price. Not even a full. You don't even get the full 100% off. You get half price, fully loaded baked potatoes. I feel like as a dad, that's worth the price of admission right there. I don't even think we're charging for this thing either.
We're not.
Right.
But, I mean, we're going to have to find
this is just a public service.
We have to find someone to hook us up with a coupon, though.
Hey, dads, just let it be known. The 364-day joke. Getting kind of worn out there. Be aware. Also, if you're going out for dinner later tonight, enjoy half off this fully loaded baked potato. Dads.
Be on lookout at this shoe store, this shoe store, this shoe store. White New Balances on sale. 50% off, 60% off.
Yeah. And the cover of the magazine could just mimic like a popular magazine, but with a dad doing it instead. So like say Miley Cyrus is on the cover of People this week. Nah, dad's going to be doing the same move.
It's funny you say that because I got my wife made fun of me for this. I texted her earlier. On my lunch break, I went down the street to Walmart. I had to buy shoelaces for my shoes because they got worn out and snapped.
Huge dad move.
So I had to go buy shoelaces.
I've never went out and bought shoelaces for myself. This is a big dad move right here.
So I got another.
This is going to be the cover story for the first edition of Dads.
And I got the real dad part of it though is I got a backup pair too.
Ooh, so, buying shoelaces.
It was a steal.
Do you get a backup? Where do you go?
But as I'm walking, you have to. I went to the shoe aisle down there, and I walked through apparel. And on my way back up, you see the models on the thing.
Yeah.
They're like wearing the girls are just like in a bra. You can see their stomach and everything.
Right.
I no joke on my way out was thinking, what if they had a dad one up there? Just
a dude.
Little gut hanging down.
Just, next to a fully loaded baked potato. Just like, what's up? This is dad's. Take it or
Grilling
leave
a
it.
steak or something.
Yeah.
Or just sternly looking at something,
Just standing on the porch looking at the neighbor kid.
Checking his air pressure.
The kids aren't in the yard yet, but they're close. Then next month, him just like, with a tire gauge and a look of completion. Very happy. Yeah, I did it.
Does this say 28 or 29? What's that? That's good.
Dads. Best top 5 tire gauges is 2023. We could corner this market, dude.
The next newsletter would have nicest waitresses in the county.
Yeah.
Down there at the old Olive Garden.
My dad always tells the waitress's name. Yeah, I'm Rick. Like, dude, whoa.
My dad does the same
there's no need for that.
I'm not.
She tells you her name, or he tells you his name. There's no. That turns into speed dating.
I'm not quite dad enough for that yet,
bro. Leave it out.
Yeah, not quite there on that level yet. My dad will do the same thing. And another dad thing to do when you go to a Mexican restaurant: speak as much Spanish as you know.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is,
gracias.
which is very little.
I'll take the jalapenos on those fajitas, please. What? Leave it alone, Dad. You just went and bought shoelaces by yourself today. You don't know how to speak Spanish. You are not bilingual.
The worst part was when I would come visit my dad when I was in high school. I took Spanish in high school, Spanish 1, Spanish 2, and he knew I was in Spanish. So when we go out to Mexican restaurants, he'd be like, "Hey, order in Spanish. You know it, don't you? Why don't you know that word?"
Go ahead and say it.
I mean, haven't gotten there yet, man.
I took Spanish in college, and I tried that once at a taco truck. I tried to order in Spanish. And I had to talk myself up for a few minutes before I went over there because I'm like, dude, this is a big move right here. You know, like if I go up there and screw it up, it's going to be embarrassing. So
you're going to get laughed at.
Oh, it's going to be bad.
There's going to be a lot of jaws in the chat.
And, you know, I don't have the confidence for this either. And I'm not psyching myself up, but I'm like, I got to go do it. All right. And I know I want 3 tacos. I want beef. I want some lettuce on there. And I think that's all I'm getting because that's really all I know how to say. Mm-hmm. That's on this. I'm like, all right, here we go. Me gusta 3 tacos con lechuga. Por favor.
I like tacos.
Yeah, right.
That's cool, man. You want?
No, sorry, yo quiero. No, is that right? Forget the beginning part.
I think saying I like it would still work, but it's just funny.
Me gusta 3 tacos con carne y lechuga. And I said it, and then I got done, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I looked back at him, and he said, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "I'll just take 3 tacos, please." So it's never worth the risk. That could be week 3 of dads. You know, a dad looking at a menu and then going, "Comprende?" You know, that'd be the title cover. Comprende? When to use Spanish in a public setting.
Just
Answer
a reminder, dads. You know, it's almost like it's a similar version to those commercials, the Becoming Your Parents commercials. Like that. You just got to remind dads, but from one dad to another. You know, you don't want to be you don't want a mom telling a group of dads about themselves. You don't want a momsplain dad.
Can't do it.
Can't do that. Can't momsplain a dad.
That message getting lost.
Right. But if it comes from another dad, I'm like, hey, well, I mean, this guy has a killer barbecue. I mean, he knows what he's talking about.
Hey, how's it going? I'm a shoelace salesman in town. Let me tell you something. I heard you speaking Spanish over there at the table. Should probably hold off.
Yeah, hey, they don't like that here.
Do you receive the newsletter, dads? It's brand new. I've been getting mine every other month, bi-monthly, and they got some pretty great stuff in there. You should check it out.
What's the going back to what you were saying a minute ago about hold on, sorry.
You there, Dad?
Working on it. Working
thinking
on
about shoelaces?
I don't multitask well.
Get it out there, buddy. Maybe ask your question, then do whatever you're doing right now. I
was pulling up the feed.
Good Lord. Ask the question.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah. You were talking
Dads.
Talking about the tacos.
Dads edition 4.
And you were
what up? Someone's just going to go, huh? Forget what you're saying. Top 5 things to say in place of when you can't multitask. And there's going to be the cover.
When you can't multitask, you just start agreeing with
everything.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
Crazy.
Yeah, heard that.
I do that all. Yeah.
Hey, look who you're talking to. You can say anything.
Well, when you were doing the tacos thing, you said you were like practicing what you were going to say, and you don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Ever tell you about the time where I said one word that meant a totally different word, and I got laughed at by an entire congregation at church?
Sounds like somebody could have used an every other month bi-monthly publication for that one.
Yeah. I was in middle school. I was in the youth group at my church.
Yeah.
It was Wednesday, and I was the youngest one in the youth group, and by like a couple years. And it was a big youth group, and we had some missionaries that were coming, and they were presenting something. They were talking about how, you know, a lot of the missions.
I can probably assume what they were doing.
Yeah, they're getting their testimonials and everything, but they joined us to eat with us before the service. So that night, somehow they asked me to pray over the entire meal, and I was giving it all I had. It was a good prayer,
leaving it all on the field. Yeah,
I think
it was a good prayer, man.
And towards the end, right before, you know, I blessed with food to the nourishment of our bodies, which should go with Dad's Weekly.
Great line.
You hook that up, and that's a dad prayer right there. That's got to be in the dad prayer. I thanked those mercenaries for
Mercenaries.
coming and giving us their message. And then I proceeded to get laughed at, not only by everybody in the church, but by the missionaries. So
That's a fun mistake.
well, is it?
You know the missionaries probably appreciate it. They're like, yeah, that's right. Put some respect on that name. Not only am I here bringing the good word, I'll bring a right hook too if I have to.
Somebody, it was around my age, one of the other kids was like, hey, you said mercenaries. I was like, what? They're like, they kill people. Like, oh, God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was
We've all been there.
my bad. Mm-hmm. But Dad's Weekly, right there, dude.
I think we got the whole first
That's
year
one-
already.
yeah,
since
man.
This is every other month, twice. I think that's just once a month, really. 2 times in a month. I think
So
it's
we've
12.
got
4.
when to speak Spanish,
Uh-huh.
right? You've got
Huh?
reminder of where the nice waitresses are
Right.
in the area.
Don't forget, huh?
Yeah, huh?
What was I saying?
Things to say when you're not paying attention.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
We
good.
got it covered, man.
And then the top 5 shoelaces for 2023.
Yeah. Whew.
Oh, bro. Dad's about to be hot.
Hey, something else I learned. Know how many holes are in your shoes when you're looking for laces. I went and asked the lady, I said, hey, I'm looking for some brown shoelaces and some black shoelaces for my dress shoes. She goes, how many holes they got? Crap.
How many holes you got in that thing? 8? No, I ain't got no shoelaces. Wait, what? Does it matter?
Different. Yeah. So
100.
if you have, like,
I don't.
if you have 4 on one side, then you're going to want like shorter, like 30-inch laces. But if you've got like long.
I didn't realize there were classes. There were weight classes. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Measurements.
that's right.
Yeah.
So other stuff I wanted to discuss here outside of that.
I might need a couple editions of Dad's.
Yeah.
To make you a man. Put
Ooh.
hair in your chest.
That's right. You want to get
That
them
could
like
be an episode too. How to put hair in your chest.
shaving cream. Is it still okay?
That's an editorial piece. It's all opinion. These views do not reflect the views of Dad's or any of its subsidiary companies.
P.S. Please do not unsubscribe.
Please. We only do this every other month, twice a month. Please don't.
We do this 12 times a year, but only 6 months out of the year.
We don't want to overload you. All right.
Oh, man. So in sports this time of year, it's bowl season. You're getting crunch time in the NFL, also getting closer to the playoffs. So you've got an entire division that we thought had a chance to make the playoffs, not do that. They didn't turn out to be the best division in football in the AFC West. Then you have the NFC East, who could legitimately have all 4 teams in the playoff, which is really, really cool. And then you have a game tonight between the Titans and the Cowboys that, I mean, it means more for Dallas because Dallas, could, realistically, their hopes for the division are still alive. They're slim, but still alive. Titans, this game literally means nothing. You want to know how much? I don't know why I had this argument with somebody yesterday, but they tried to continuously make the argument that this game does mean something for the Titans, and it doesn't. And I walked up to him before this podcast, and I said, you want to put an end to that debate? Did you see who the Titans are starting in this game tonight? They're going with their third-string quarterback who's only been a part of the team 2 weeks or a week, and it's Josh Dobbs. So,
did he give up?
Did who give?
Did he finally agree? Because I was there for the argument yesterday, and it's like, dude, this game does not matter.
He did give up.
Okay, that's good.
He gave up.
Man, the Titans are fielding an absolute JV team tonight.
Dude, it's legit. Josh Dobbs is going to be running out there with the 2s and the 3s.
Al Michaels doesn't deserve this.
Or Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah, but Al especially. He's had a Hall of Fame career. He's towards the end. He left Sunday Night Football, which is the best game every week. And he goes to Thursday, which is the worst game every week. And this year has been especially bad. This is goes back to the heyday of Thursdays, back when every single game was bad. It was the worst one on the card every week, like Titans, Jags twice a year, followed by Giants, Eagles back when they both stunk. It was a bad game. And that's where we're at now. Poor Al Michaels. I'm going to be watching probably the second half just to be hearing what he says in lieu of calling the football game, because I imagine by that point it just won't be competitive. We got a third stringer at quarterback. We got a guy I've never heard of at running back and another third stringer for the Titans. Their receivers are already not great. Hey, a lot of guys on that injury report.
If anything, Kirk Herbstreit might be the most familiar with these players that he's ever been in the NFL.
They've got more college experience than pro, for sure.
Yeah, so that's tonight. That game means nothing. I'm curious to see Josh Dobbs, and I know exactly why they're doing this, because next week's game means everything. It means the division. It means a playoff spot. The loser of that Titans-Jags game is not going to make the playoffs. The winner will be in the playoffs.
Why do you think Malik Willis isn't playing, though?
Because he's not good.
I know he's not good. So if you have a game that doesn't mean anything, wouldn't you want the guy that's not good to get all of the reps?
Well, I think what they're doing is I don't think that they think that 1 week is going to mean Malik Willis will give them a shot. Like learning something this week's going to give them a shot.
1 week of not playing will put him in a better position to play.
No, they're looking at this week.
Hold on, I have to refer back to episode 3 or edition 3 of Dads. Huh?
They're looking at what I would imagine is they're trying to find something. They already know that Malik Willis isn't going to give them a shot to beat the Jags, and a 1 week playing the Cowboys probably isn't going to help that. So they're putting Josh Dobbs in to see what he's got, to see if he can help them.
Who are you trying to convince, me or you?
I'm convinced. I think that's exactly why they're doing it.
You think it makes sense? I mean, you got a quarterback who's not good. You have a free game, admittedly.
But you don't want to get him hurt either because, half your first string offense
What's the risk, though? I mean, yeah, you got a big game next week. You can go to the playoffs if you win. But if you got a quarterback who's not any good and then he gets hurt and you're going to have to go with a third stringer anyways, I mean, you're pretty much playing with a third stringer.
Yeah, right then let him play and just see if he can give you a shot to play against or to beat the Jags. You got to go with Josh Dobbs here because the Titans, I think, want to, especially with no Henry, you can't rely on the run game. And Malik Willis, the only reason or one reason, a reason he wasn't throwing the football other than the fact that he really can't. It's the fact that he had Derrick Henry and they tried to rely on him. Now you don't have Derrick Henry tonight. So
you think they're starting Dobbs on a Hail Mary that if he plays really well, they can start him next week too? Because I think they know like Malik Willis is not
100%.
Like he's not an NFL quarterback right now, let alone a playoff NFL quarterback right now. Let's start Dobbs tonight with a freebie. This one game isn't going to mean anything for Malik Willis. He's still going to stink next week, whether he plays or not. Mm-hmm. Maybe we throw Dobbs out there. Guy was good in college. He's had some moments in the pros. Maybe something happens.
That's 100% what it is.
Okay,
that's
that makes
exactly
sense.
what I think it is. They're putting
it's horrible if you're rooting for Malik Willis or if you're a Titans long-term fan, but that's the only situation that makes sense.
I think that's exactly what they're doing. They're throwing Josh Dobbs out there to see if Josh Dobbs shows any signs of promise that's going to allow them to compete with the Jacksonville Jaguars next week. Because right now, we still don't know what all the Titans will have available in that game. A lot of these guys are getting some extra rest because this game doesn't mean anything, but how healthy will they be in that game? Josh Dobbs will at least attempt more passes than Malik Willis will. He's not as mobile. Malik Willis is a good athlete, but I think that's exactly what they're doing with Josh Dobbs. So, and I'm excited to see him, man. And I cannot wait to hear and be reminded a million times that Josh Dobbs, did you know this? He's a rocket scientist.
You think they pull that one back out?
Oh, are you kidding me? Kirk Herbstreit's there. Of course. I mean, he followed it.
I bet they don't. I don't think they're going to do it.
You're out of your mind if you don't think
I don't think they're going to say it. I think they're going to be too busy talking about Malik Willis and everything else. I don't think they're going to drop. The only way they drop the Josh Dobbs, hey, he was a rocket scientist in college, is either right at the beginning when they intro him,
which is what I think they're going to do.
If he has a good game. Now, if he has a good game, they'll be like, well, Josh Dobbs, he played at Tennessee, blah, 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 all these career. By the way, he's a rocket scientist.
I can see it right now. Josh Dobbs threading a ball on the sideline. The guy goes out to catch it, toe taps it. Kirk Herbstreit on the slow-mo replays breaking down the play, and he explains that Josh Dobbs knows that angle and knows the proper, arm strength because he is a rocket scientist.
Interesting.
I can see it clear as day.
I hear you. It's one of those hot facts that commentators like to spit out about players to the point where, you don't even know what his career stats are. Mm-hmm. How many touchdowns he throw for at Tennessee? He played there for like 9 years. I don't know. But I know he's a rocket scientist because it was hammered into my head every single game. That's a good one. Pat Mahomes' dad plays baseball, maybe an all-time first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Pat Mahomes, his dad.
The fact that Kyler Murray not only was the number 1 overall pick in the 2019 NFL draft, he was also selected top 10 in the MLB draft.
Wait, 2 sports?
Yeah, while he was in college.
No, that's a big one. Yeah, everyone totally knows that.
Regionally,
Bo Nix. Did you know his dad played at Auburn?
Get out of here. But Bo Nix played at Auburn, though. So
get it. Both of them.
Were they both quarterbacks?
They were both quarterbacks. In fact, we're going to ask you the Aflac trivia question every week for 12 straight weeks. A different question where the answer is Bo Nix's dad.
And it's not
every
even
week.
like it's gonna start as the answer is Patrick Nix, and then it's just gonna gradually turn into the answer is not Patrick Nix, but Bo Nix's dad.
Who is the only Auburn quarterback to throw for 2,000 yards in a season and give birth to Bo Nix? I was like, I feel like Cam Newton's out of this one. There's no way Damian Craig. That timeline doesn't. Is it Patrick Nix? Oh, it is.
Oh,
Look at that.
wow.
That's crazy. That's weird. Because he was the answer every single week before this. They started running out there at the end. They were literally that easy there.
Before we get out completely of the NFL, though, I had a little game I wanted to play with you here. You know a lot of obscure things about the NFL. You not only have a steel trap of a mind, but you love the NFL.
Steel, maybe not.
And
tin. Like a tin trap.
A tin trap.
Yeah, it's susceptible to damage, but it works. It can work from time to time.
So I know you've been paying attention to the NFL for a long time. So I saw this on TikTok yesterday, and I stole this list to see if you could get more than their NFL guy got.
Okay.
It is all 14 quarterbacks to throw for 500 yards in a single game since the year 2000. So 2000 to present. The 14 individuals. Some have done it more than once. But there are going to be some no's on this list that surprise you.
The 14 since 2000.
Yes. So and the 2000 season counts.
Okay. I think Derek Carr's number one.
Derek Carr in 2016.
I think he threw for like 520 something. Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow did it last year.
Yeah. 14 dudes since 2000 to throw.
You're 2 for 2 so far.
For over 500 yards.
In a single game.
Part of me wants to say Steve McNair, but I think that's from when he was at Alcorn State, when he used to literally throw for like 700, 800 yards a game.
Steve McNair is incorrect.
That's not. Well, I didn't answer that one.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I
said I wanted to, but I think I'm getting confused with his Alcorn State days, where he almost won a Heisman. 800 yards a game, isn't that crazy for anybody?
Patrick Mahomes did it at Texas Tech. Oh, that's another good college football one.
Yeah.
To bring up the Patrick or the things you always hear in a broadcast, Patrick Mahomes Baker Mayfield duel from 2016.
Oh man,
it's brought up all the time.
Every time. All right, so we got Burrow, we've got Derek Carr. What about 14 people have done this
since 2000? You've only got 2 so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Matt Schaub.
Matt Schaub is actually on this list. Yeah. Matt Schaub did it in 2012.
Yeah.
10 years ago, Matt Schaub did it. Yeah.
Matt Schaub. Okay. Who else could have thrown for 500 in a game? Is Mahomes on there?
Surprisingly enough, Patrick Mahomes is not on this list.
That's a shame. Okay.
There are going to be some surprising no's. There will be some surprising no's. That's one of them.
Tom Brady.
Another surprising.
Come on.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's on there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he did it.
Right.
He did it once.
Now we're talking.
Or he did. Yeah, he did it once. But yes, Tom Brady.
Tommy B. Who wings it around in the league? Drew Brees.
Drew Brees done it twice. I got a lot of these too, like a lot of the ones you're getting now, and then there were a couple other guesses that I threw out in my own head that weren't on here, and I was surprised.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is not on this list. He is not going for 500 yards in a game.
Okay. Since 2000, and you said the 2000 year counts, which makes me think I should think about someone from 2000.
You should.
Kurt Warner.
No.
Oh. From 2000. Who was winging it back in 2000? Sean King.
No.
I was Buccaneers quarterback in 2000.
We can circle back to 2000 if you want to get the other ones. There's a lot more recent ones on there.
All right.
Names.
All right. You know who's thrown for the most yardage ever in a game? It's Norm Van Brocklin. He did that before the year 2000.
Yeah, what year was that?
Probably like 1970.
That's probably the last time they stopped naming people Norm.
Might be like 1950. Yeah. You don't see a lot of guys getting NIL deals on recruiting day named Norm. It's a shame. Shame there aren't as many Norms in football as there used to be. All right. Cool. Peyton Manning.
Another surprising no on this list.
You're
Peyton
killing
Manning
me, dude. This is
Peyton Manning
hard.
did not make this list.
Jeff Garcia.
No.
Ugh,
I'll be honest, a
drowning in you.
lot of obvious names on this list.
No, there's not.
Yes.
Andrew
there are.
Luck.
No. Let's see. This guy's still playing. This guy's still playing. This guy's still playing. These two just recently retired. That guy's still playing. This guy just recently retired.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Did it 3 times.
Good for him.
Big Ben did it 3 times.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco is not on this list.
Okay. Did I say Rodgers already?
Yeah, he's not on this list either.
Matt Stafford.
Yes, 2012, Matt Stafford did it.
Okay. Russell Wilson.
No, I don't know.
Carson Palmer.
No, not on the list. I think he had a good 400-something yard game.
Dang. Andy Dalton.
No.
I was going to say, if that's on there, I'm quitting. Tennessee Titans, nobody.
Correct.
You said that begrudgingly. Jake Delhomme.
No, you're getting way off the rails.
I'm digging, man. I'm trying to figure.
One guy won the MVP and did it the year he won the MVP in the last 6 or 7 years. This guy did it 2 years ago.
Lamar Jackson.
No.
Josh Allen.
No.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan is on the list, 2016. Matt Ryan. This guy did it, and also he might be the only person in NFL history to throw for 500 yards in a game and also try to shove his own ankle bone back into his body.
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott did it in 2020.
He tried to do that. He tried to do
I don't think it was the same game, by the way.
No, I would think not. He was unsuccessful in his ability to unbreak his ankle.
Yeah.
Mere seconds after breaking it.
He gave it hell, though. He gave it all he had.
That thing looks so painful. If you've never seen that replay of Dak Prescott when he turned his ankle like 60 degrees to the left, and then he grabbed his calf, took his leg, pulled it upwards, and bashed his foot against the ground as hard as he possibly can, thinking he like dislocated it and he's just going to fix it. That had to have hurt so bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that had to have hurt so bad. I'm thinking about bashing my head against this table right now to see if I can.
This guy right
reconnect some
here, I
neurons.
believe, only played for one team in the NFL. Did it in 2013, by the way.
This isn't related to what you just said, but Jameis Winston?
Jameis Winston was a guy I guessed also, and he's not on the list. I thought Jameis would be on there. This guy famously went undrafted.
Phillip Rivers, not.
He is on the list, yes.
Not to what you were saying, but Phillip Rivers.
Yes.
This guy was not drafted, the one you're talking about.
Famously undrafted. It was another one of those things to bring up. I mean, it was a popular thing to talk about because he turned out to be solid.
A famously undrafted quarterback who turned out to be solid.
Yeah. Fans are torn on him. Some think he was really great. Some think he was average. Some swear by him. Some don't. I think he did this during that game against the Saints, where he and Drew Brees had a big duel.
What team?
Cowboys.
Oh, Romo.
Tony Romo, yeah.
Yeah. It's easy to forget about Tony Romo. That's
crazy because that was the one that the guy on the video got wrong too. Like he didn't guess. It was the one he finally didn't get right. And I've been screaming it since the beginning. Like that was one that I guessed. I knew that one, but that for whatever reason, that game stuck in my mind because he had such a great game, but then cost them at the end of it by throwing that interception. It was just like the perfect Tony Romo game. So, all right, you got 3 more. This guy is currently still playing. He's playing for his second team, and he was a former number 1 overall pick. And then this guy retired with 2 Super Bowls. And then this guy, we're gonna have to do some digging to find this guy.
You don't even have a clue for him, huh?
This guy played for 3 teams. He played for 2 teams mainly. The last team he played for was the Ravens. Only played for a year there. Got most of his starts with the Chiefs, and before that, he played for the 49ers.
He went 49ers, Chiefs,
Ravens.
What year?
He the year he did this was for the Chiefs in 2000.
Elvis Gerbach.
Elvis Gerbach.
Let's go.
Elvis Gerbach.
I remember him, dude.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Played at Michigan.
They loved him because he was like 6'5" and like 240.
Elvis Gerbach. This other guy retired with 2 Soupies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You guessed his brother already.
Eli, man.
Eli did it and Peyton didn't.
Okay.
And then the
And
last
this other
one,
guy's still playing?
still playing, former first overall pick, now on his second team.
Former first overall pick, now on his second team. I'm having a brain fart. This feels like it should be so easy.
He was
a former number 1 pick.
The team that picked him number 1 overall.
Yeah.
When they got rid of this guy, they replaced him with another former number 1 overall pick. That's actually on this list that you already guessed. Jared Goff. It was Jared Goff. It was in that big Monday night duel that they had in. They're supposed to be Mexico City. They got moved. So there you go.
I know Joke played a quiz the other day of every quarterback who threw for 500 yards in the NFL. That's how I knew that Norm Van Brocklin thing. I should have done much better.
It's so
surprised. Weird you asked that question. I played that like last week.
I'm so surprised you weren't dishing out some of these, like Matt Ryan didn't come easier.
Because my sweet spot is the Elvis Gerbachs. It's not like remembering all of the quarterbacks from the past few years who were like good and all that stuff. Like, I mean, I threw you Peyton Manning, I threw you Aaron Rodgers, wrong, but Elvis Gerbach's on the list. You know,
that's
like,
right.
It's
that's crazy. That's the only like good year he actually had too in 2000. Like
he wouldn't.
So he was Pro Bowl.
He was a spot guy for a little bit. Yeah, Gerbach. I think I went to Trent Green shortly after that.
I was watching his highlights this morning because that was such an obscure answer that he would fill in for what was it, Steve Young in San Francisco, and I saw him throw a touchdown pass to Jerry Rice. I was like, holy crap.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And Derek Carr, the guy on that list, he got benched this week.
He did, dude.
So throwing for 500 means nothing.
And then stepped away from the team.
What is the deal with that? How do you bench a quarterback and then send him home?
And then continue to pay him. It's weird. Like
isn't that weird?
Is that PTO?
Like, I know it's weird. Like, oh, the guy got benched. You know, it might be weird for him in the locker room. Like, people get benched all the time. Is he too... Does his contract... Does he make too much money to be on the bench?
Probably.
Is that what's going on here? Are they looking at it like, oh, we can't have him on the bench. We pay him too much money. It will look bad for us. I just send him home. It's not a real great team mentality, you would think, right? I mean, if you're Jared Stidham, you're like, dude, it'd be kind of nice if I had the guy who played every other game this year on the sideline.
Helping me out,
bounce a couple things off of if I needed to, but whatever.
And on top of that, like, doesn't it kind of feel like he's on his last leg or last nerve with the Raiders?
Well,
because Davante Adams had like some post afterwards where he was just like pouring his heart out for the guy. I'm like, he's not dead.
The Raiders players all year have been talking about how they don't like being on the Raiders. Josh Jacobs last week got asked by a reporter. He's over there. He's so frustrated. He dropped a couple cuss words. I mean, you could tell in his face the guy was just fed up with something. Davante Adams is out there liking tweets by the NFL for the Packers game when they beat the Dolphins last week. Yeah. Davante Adams is liking all those tweets. He's backing up his quarterback who's now been benched. They've lost more like fourth quarter leads or like whatever the stat is. They've lost more leads than any other team. It's been a nightmare. So I don't know what is going on with the Raiders. Fresh off of the Gruden Mayock era that ended so poorly. Then you bring in Josh McDaniel and Davante Adams. That doesn't quite go the way it's supposed to. Now you got players frustrated. Raiders are a mess, man. This is a team we thought
think about how
was going to be a playoff team.
Disastrous a lot of the head coaching hires for the Raiders have been, right? Like Gruden's second stint was a disaster, especially with everything that it came out and because of the way it ended and everything.
It looked like it was going to be all right, but you look at the results, pretty bad.
Josh McDaniels could turn into that. Lane Kiffin was a disaster back in the day. They've really.
What is their record this year? The Raiders. I think technically they're still they can still get to the playoffs.
I thought they got eliminated. I thought that's why.
Is that what the loss last week did?
I think so. I thought I saw that. That's why I thought that they were.
Yeah, they're 6-9 right now.
They're still in it. They're not eliminated. The Broncos got eliminated. That may be who I was thinking.
Yeah, so they could squeak in if they keep getting wins, which is kind of.
So let's go to Jared Stidham. Jared Stidham and Josh Dobbs may be in charge of keeping playoff hopes alive for the Raiders and the Titans. How about that?
Who's putting their money on those teams going to the Super Bowl, huh? Anybody?
Oh,
you have to be a maniac.
All right, so there are a couple of more things that I wanted to discuss. Then we got time to get into a few of these. Some things that we'll wrap it up with something that was really, really cool and really great to see, because these next few things are going to be things that absolutely grind me to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, I meant to bring my box of Cheez-Its with me so I could show you what it was. Box of Cheez-Its, but it says Cheez-It on the box, right? Because one singular cracker is a Cheez-It.
Sure.
What are multiple?
Cheez-Its.
Right?
I think. It feels like I'm being trapped.
That feels right,
I'll go
right?
with that.
That feels right. That's what I say when I think of multiple. However,
I feel like Derek Carr right before they called him into the coach's office. He's thinking, oh, we're going to go over the game plan? No. Trap. You're benched.
According to Carter Carls, who
Carter Carls?
Carter, but it's spelled Karels.
That doesn't change much for me.
He was at a press conference where the Cheez-It Bowl representative told him that there is no such thing as Cheez-Its.
Mm-hmm.
One Cheez-It is a Cheez-It. Two or more of the Cheez-It are called Cheez-It crackers.
Interesting.
No one says that. Hey, can you pass that box of Cheez-It crackers over here?
I'll say that.
You're a psychopath. I bet you're going to go wash your hands off under the water spigot after. Psychopath.
You're being rude. You're being mean.
You're not going to say Cheez-It crackers. You're going to say that's way more syllables. It's more
things
of a
that trigger you to call me names are unbelievable.
Water
spigots and crackers have led you to call me a psychopath on now 2 occasions.
Don't cave in. It's because you're
which is going to be edition 6 of Dads. Irrational anger and what to do with it. And it's going to be a picture of you staring angrily at a box of Cheez-It crackers.
Mm-mm. Stop. Don't do that again. Don't
tell me what to do, Dad. What, are you going to send me to my room?
I might.
I'm not going to my room. And I'm not mowing the yard. And I still expect my allowance.
You are going to go to your room.
And I'm going to go eat some Cheez-It crackers in my room.
You're going to go to your
room. And I'm
going
to play my PlayStation.
Without a box of Cheez-It crackers.
Mom's hanging out with another guy. I saw Mom with another.
No, you didn't.
Mom's got a male friend. Mom says her emotional companion listens to her. What are we talking about?
Cheez-Its.
Oh, square crackers.
Apparently that doesn't exist.
And what to call him. Hey, the guy said that's what you call him. What was his title?
He's the
what's his name? Carter
Carls is just the reporter.
Oh.
He was told by a Cheez-It Bowl representative.
What more do you need? You're getting it straight from the cheese's teat right there.
Doesn't mean I'm okay with it. No one else is okay with it. This is how you unite America right there. We're divided on a lot of things. Most of us, other than your psychotic self, are okay with standing up for what they believe in, and that is Cheez-Its. To sit there and tell me that they don't exist, you just basically spit in my face.
Well, you're spitting in my face when you call me a psychopath repeatedly. It hurts. I'm a man. I have emotions. I have feelings. And I didn't come into work today to have a coworker call me a psychopath over cheese crackers. Okay? All right? Not having it. You should probably subscribe to this newsletter I know about. It comes out every other month, twice a month. It's pretty good. Maybe you learn a little something. But they're Cheez-It crackers.
Hey there, champ. How you doing?
Are you doing a dad talk to me right now? Like after you sent me to my room?
How you holding up, bud?
I'm fine. I'm an adult.
We say some things sometimes that we don't really mean.
Well, you did.
And
primarily you.
Hang in there, buddy.
I don't know what we're talking about.
It's a good talk.
All right. Can we get ice cream?
No.
I hate you, Dad. I hate this family.
They're Cheez-Its.
I didn't ask to be here. The neighbor family calls them crackers.
You're adopted.
I love that. What? Wait. No, I'm not.
Just eat some Cheez-It crackers and be all right.
That's right. You said it. You said it, Dad. You caved.
That drives me nuts that I can't say it. The Cheez-It Bowl representative.
I don't let Big Cheese tell me what to
Yeah.
call my cheese.
Or Big Cracker. Either one.
Oh, you think there's some collusion here?
Maybe.
Big Cheese, Big Cracker? They came in together and said, hey, look. Big Cracker said, we're sick and tired of y'all being called Cheez-Its. Cheez-It looked at them and said, hey, look, we're right there with you, brother. All right? And Cracker said, look, we got to do something.
So,
Said, don't worry about that.
That ruffled my feathers a little bit. That one right there.
A little bit.
And the other thing that kind of like gets on my nerves, I sent you the video on Twitter. Did you see Bowl's dunk the other day?
No.
I sent you the video.
Bowl, the son of Manute Bowl, who named his son Bowl after his own last name Bowl.
Yeah, Bowl.
Sweet.
Go look at his play here.
It's all right, let me look him up. B-O-L.
I DM'd it to you.
B-O. Oh, did you slide up in my DMs?
I did. It's
all right.
Yeah, this is the play right here. It's a phenomenal play.
Oh, I did actually see that. Yeah.
It's a phenomenal play. Get the other angle. Let the replay come in.
Get the other angle. Okay.
Yeah, this one right here.
That's a good angle.
Quick play on that bigger one.
Oh, you need to be bigger for you?
Yeah.
All right. I can get it for you, Pops. Don't worry about it. Look at him go up.
Yeah, see?
Look at him. And send it down, Bowl.
And that's a phenomenal play to go up over that guy and throw the ball down like that. In my opinion,
yeah,
that's not a dunk. It's not a dunk.
Boy.
Can we just come up with another name for it? You know what I mean? Now, by definition, if you want to look up the definition of what a slam dunk is, it fits that description.
Yeah.
It's the throwing the ball down in a forceful motion downward into the basket. That's a dunk.
Yep.
But in my heart of hearts, for me, a dunk is when your hand makes contact with the rim.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one.
And his hand does not make contact with the rim.
No, it was not a dunk. It was a downward forceful lay down. It was a lay down.
We gotta come up with a better name for it.
You very rarely see the lay down.
But it's
in the
not,
NBA.
It's not a dunk. And some people have been posting the Michael Jordan dunk from Space Jam under there where he stretches his arm out and throws the ball down.
Yep.
Not a dunk. Game winner, great play. It's not a dunk.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
The definition of a dunk doesn't say you have to make contact with the rim. The definition, that technically is the definition of a dunk. It's throwing the ball at a downward motion.
Did you look up the definition of a dunk?
I had to after the comments kept telling everyone.
You're like the referee in semi-pro. I don't even know what to do. We're going to need to get a book over
people
here,
kept saying that that's the definition of a dunk. Your hand doesn't have to make contact with the rim. So I looked up the definition of a dunk, and you don't have to make contact with the rim. It's just forcing the ball down through the basket downward. So that technically is a dunk. I would like to come up with another.
I got the bowl dunk right here. He goes up, super long arms, lay down,
throws it right in there. Not a dunk.
Hold on, I think I'd like to see that again. Okay, actually.
Fantastic. Look at that. Of the fantastic four.
Does fingertips.
Look at that.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
that's a lay down.
Yeah, that's not a dunk.
That's a lay down.
That is a phenomenal play. I'm not besmirching the play at all. I'm not taking away from it by saying it's not a dunk, but that's not a dunk.
Do you remember the dunk that I believe it was Dwight Howard won the dunk contest with a few years ago where he dressed up as Superman and needed to lay down?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That won a dunk contest. So precedent, and I've been watching a lot of Law and Order lately, so I know what this stuff means, and I'm pretty much paralegal. Precedent says that is a dunk, sir. Dwight Howard won a slam dunk contest, a contest full of only slam dunks, and he did pretty much the same thing.
And again, the NBA definition of a dunk says that that's a dunk. But in my heart of hearts, that is not a dunk.
I think it's time, like Reggie Bush's Heisman, that we revoke Dwight Howard's slam dunk contest trophy. And he's playing over there in China right now. So, that might set the tone. This has got international ramifications on it right here. I think if you're Joe Biden out there, no, I'm not going to. You got to do it, man. I mean, if we're going to get Brittany Griner from Russia, when are we going to go ahead and pull Dwight Howard slam dunk contest trophy? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever, man. I don't know. I guess I'm focused on all the wrong stuff.
What do you say? Is that a dunk?
No, I wasn't a dunk. I just told you it was a lay down.
Yeah.
It was a lay down. But a man. Ooh, is this it? Hold on. I got to find the video for this. That is
that's
a
it.
violent lay down. That's an egregious lay down. Let me see if I can find the Superman dunk because it's the same thing. Oh, I can't spell dunk.
Dunk.
Shut up.
Dunk.
Man. All right, leave me alone.
I can't even enunciate that properly. Do an L in there.
Yep. I'm about to pull this bad boy up. So is that like a big debate, or people going like, "Oh well"? I don't know.
Go read the comments. Go read the comments.
Yeah, but it still counts as 2 points,
Right?
like,
And it just, I guess people feel like it's coming off offensive if you say that that's not like you're diminishing the play by saying it's not a dunk. I'm not, and I didn't comment on it, but other people were
I'm
like,
offended.
not a dunk, but cool. It's an amazing play, not a dunk.
Not a dunk, no. But a grown man shouldn't even be able to put the ball in the hoop from there.
Right. Again, it's an amazing play, not a dunk.
Here's the precedent set, though. In that dunk contest by Dwight Howard, donning Superman regalia, decked out. No one playing defense. Could have got as close to the rim as he wanted. Chose to jump from here and throw it downward towards the goal. Let's get a different angle right here. Let's get a different angle. Kobe liked it. Rest in peace, baby. LeBron liked it. Miami Heat era, LeBron and Wade liked it. But ain't no dunk.
I agree.
Ball don't lie, which is something I love yelling during a basketball game at any moment. That's going to be in one of the next editions of Dads. Great things to yell out during sporting events. Hey, ball don't lie.
That's
I
right.
tell you what. Hey, better start learning how to make their free throws. And the guy missed. Hey, ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. You know who's great at free throws? Rick Barry.
Another dad's thing. Hey guys, this one would be like the spring/summer edition.
Yeah.
Hey guys, baseball season's coming up, Little League season's coming up. Do not forget, it is imperative to remember to remind your kid, if he gets hurt, rub some dirt in it.
Got to.
Rub some dirt on it, you'll be all right. Let's go.
How you feel about all these fake fields, you know?
Turf?
I actually had someone say that to me the other day, like, "Hey, rub some dirt in." I'm like, "No, I think it's rub the recycled tire."
Yeah, that's
what do you just rub a little recycled tire bits on it, like I did growing up on all my. Is that what we're gonna sound like as old men? Watch a kid playing on one of those artificial fake fields and you get hurt and you go, "Oh, come on, kid, rub some of them recycled rubber pellets on it like I did."
No, like a real man, I'm bringing my own bag of dirt.
You go,
"Hey, come here,
dude." That is a first ballot all-timer dad move. At your kid's game or practice, they go down. You whip out a Ziploc bag that used to have a tuna salad sandwich in it, but now it's filled with dirt, and you dip that kid's elbow in there. And go, there you go. There you go. Dad, it doesn't help. In fact, I think it's maybe now infected.
Shut up.
It's good for you. Suck it up. Can I just rub some of these recycled tire bits on? Hey, it's the wrong bag. Hey, Denise, give my bag over here. What? Yeah, with the dirt. No, it's supposed to be in there. Just bring. Oh, God, you're
Oh,
no, I know it has dirt. I put the dirt in there. No, I didn't get out of your garden. Maybe I got it. Did you just bring me the bag?
I'll give it back. I'll put it back.
Look, baby, I'm going to put it back, all right? Your mom's dead anyways, all right? That plant wasn't growing any further.
Dirt's not the answer. Maybe a little water would be nice.
Hey, man, maybe you get off your fat keister. He wants to water that thing. Dads, edition 8, things not to yell at your wife in moments of frustration.
Get on the bag.
How to sit behind a backstop and annoy your son and every umpire on the field and every other person watching the game.
That's right.
Oh, that's the worst. I used to umpire baseball. The dad that would lurk behind the backstop. Yeah, good pitch. And one ball's just a little on the outside. Oh, come on, Blue. I'm like, dude, I'm 16 right now. Like, can I just call this game and go home?
My dad got so mad at me one time. My parents were split, and I always played ball where I lived with my mom. One summer I got to go play ball where my dad lived out in Smyrna in Tennessee. And I had like the least amount of strikeouts in the league. I only know that because that psycho knew that for some reason. I don't know how he knew that, but I only struck out 4 times that year, like all year. And we're down.
Dad knew your stats?
My dad.
Oh.
So I'd struck out. I'd only struck out 4 times all year, and that particular game, we were the number 1 team in the league. They were the number 2 team in the league. I ended up making the game-winning catch in the outfield, but I was garbage at the plate. That I struck out 3 times in that game, and I remember that because my dad came over to the dugout and was ripping me apart so bad to where my coach afterwards came up to me, was trying to be cool about it. He came up, we're facing the field. He's like, "Yeah, hey, don't look at me. Don't watch."
Oh man,
Are you good to go home with him? You good? Is that you're cool? All right, man. Go get him.
Oh
yeah, no joke.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I was like 12.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I had someone ask me if my dad was on bath salts. I'm not even kidding, man. All right. Man, that's rough. I remember, dude, because I was watching football. I was watching Tua this weekend. He's back in the concussion protocol for the 3rd time, and that's big news because of how bad his concussions were earlier, and people are saying shut him down. And I was thinking about to the time I got. Remember when Jacked Up used to be a segment before it was like a crime? Get that spit out of your beard. There you go. Back when Jacked Up was like entertainment and not a felony. Was at the same time I was playing youth football, and I got hit helmet to helmet, leading with your head, bad form, all that, and just blacked out. I think it was the first time I ever got knocked out on a football field. And I remember waking up and being confused and whatever. I got eyes are all wired up. I'm just had my first ever concussion. And I get off the field, and I remember standing on the sideline, and I feel a little arm touch my shoulder from behind. It's my dad, and he goes, "Hey man, make sure you go tell coach you're good to go. You can go back into the game. All right, tell him you're good." I was like, "Okay." And after I talked to 2 parents who weren't my coach because I didn't realize it, I eventually found that coach and I said, "Coach, I'm ready to go back into the game." And he went, "Okay, cool." And I went right back out there, and I'm like, man, things have changed so much. Dude, little 10-year-old got a concussion at a football game like I did, and just was limp on the field for 20 seconds before he came back.
That's the last football game that league plays.
Dude, that league commissioner's in jail. The moms are out there with torches and pitchforks. No more games. All the games are canceled. Nah.
Hey, hold on, coach. Whoa, wait, stop the game. Stop the game. Hey, I brought this from home. Bag of dirt. Hey, come here. Give me a bag.
Just let's just pour it on his head. I know he's not. Is he breathing? He's breathing. All right, just avoid his nose. We'll just sprinkle it on.
Well, get it wet a little bit so it sticks on there.
You wake up, and you're like, "Oh, what happened? Where am I? Wait, am I in a cave? I'm covered in dirt. We're still at the game. We're all in dirt. Did I fall into an anthill? Yeah. You fell in an anthill. Oh, okay. Well, all right. I'm going to go back into the game, coach. Yeah, no, I'm working the concession stand. I came over here with a bag of ice. I'm not your coach. Your coach is over there. But I'll let him know.
That's great, man. But you're talking to the Gatorade cooler. He's going that way.
Hey, look over. Yeah, that's an object. You're talking to an object right now.
Hey, you all right? Follow my fingers. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably fine.
The Gatorade cooler sounds clear play, coach. I'm ready to go back in. You want me to point guard or shoot guard?
Oh, man.
Yeah, so, you maybe just hang out, buddy.
Before we get out of here, another thing I wanted to talk about that we're starting to see in bowl season. We knew that the transfer portal, it's kind of in its infancy, and we're still learning new things about it. This is insane to me. There are 2 things that we've discussed about bowl season, and that's usually, the bowl games are depleted because of opt-outs and transfers. And opt-outs typically opt out because they're either transferring or they're going to the NFL. But I had told you back in around Thanksgiving, back in November, before the season was over, I said, I think that we're close, or I asked you how close you think we are to somebody opting out of the bowl game, but still coming back to play for that team next year, right? And we almost had that happen. Kayshon Boutte was going to do that. Kayshon Boutte announced Booty, the receiver for LSU. Kayshon Boutte for LSU announced December 5th that he was coming back to school for LSU next year, and then decided he was going to opt out of the bowl game but still come back next year. So we are so close to that actually happening. However, he then announced that he's just going to go ahead and go pro, go to the NFL draft, which is probably smart for him. I mean, he may not go as high as he was originally. He was getting some first-round grades before the season, but he had some bad drops and stuff this year, especially at the beginning of the year. They weren't clicking. But I mean, that he's a player that already thought about doing that. You're going to start seeing that really soon, where guys that aren't going to transfer, they're not going to go to the NFL draft, they're going to come back and play for that team, but they're going to start sitting out their bowl games.
Well, you were onto it back then, and it almost happened. And I think you're right. It's got a chance to happen more, and I think that's why the bowl season is now taking a deep look at who it is and is now thinking about changing what they're doing as far as like what it takes to get into a bowl, like NILs, how it work with that, incorporating the bowls into the expanded playoff, maybe, you know, having some flexibility on the conference affiliations. Like the Rose Bowl doesn't have to be a team from the Pac-12, doesn't have to be a team against someone from the Big Ten. We can change it up a little bit. So yeah, you're going to have to make the bowls important because right now, I mean, even for a guy who's like, that bowl game's more important than a non-conference game at the beginning of the year. You know, if you're not going to play a bowl game and still have games next year, who says you're even going to play the first game of the year? You know, I'm not playing against the Citadel. I'm all right. I don't need that.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the bowls got to, which I've been saying that forever. I mean,
Got to take
bowls
a
are just,
themselves.
they're years behind. You got to figure it out or you're going to get left.
100%. The other weird thing that we're seeing with the transfer portal, and I don't think we've seen this yet. You asked me if we'd seen this yet. I don't know that I've seen anything as high profile as this, like a high profile rivalry. Not one of the more high profile rivalries. The team he's transferring to, this young man is transferring to, certainly has a bigger rival than this school, but this is an in-state rivalry. And I honestly had forgotten the kid's name, even though he's transferring to Oklahoma. Let me find that real quick. People are very upset about this.
Is his name Brock something?
I don't think it was Brock, was it?
Oh.
It was Trace Ford. That was it.
Wasn't even close.
Trace Ford is transferring to Oklahoma, but he's transferring to Oklahoma from Oklahoma State. In-state rival. This is a rivalry that's completely lopsided, but Oklahoma State clearly the younger brother, the little brother in this rivalry, and they know it. They're mad. Everybody was mad. Their mouthpiece, Doug Gottlieb, who played basketball there after stealing credit cards from his teammates, took a shot at this kid. He also took a shot at Oklahoma a while back for running scared and not taking Oklahoma State with him. Oklahoma State fans don't like the move. They want to keep the rivalry going. So they already have that little brother syndrome. They are not happy about this. And it's a weird predicament for me because I'm an Oklahoma fan. I'm excited to have another edge guy come in. They already have one transfer, I think, from Maryland, who's one of the top edge transfers in the portal, and they're going to have this kid. I'm excited about that. However, I completely understand where they're coming from. I totally understand where Oklahoma State fans are coming from. That's weird. Now, this kid, he might be going a little closer to home. He's from the state of Oklahoma. I think he lives a little closer to Norman. So you might be moving a little closer to your home. NIL money's probably better over there, and that's phenomenal. But there's something about it that feels weird. On a bigger scale, you know where I'm going since we're here in Alabama. That's never going to happen where someone goes from Auburn to Alabama or Alabama to Auburn, is it?
I think at some point it will. But me personally, I don't know if I'd like it if I were on the team. Like if you're on Oklahoma and you're getting this guy from the team you hate, like wouldn't you always just associate him with being like the traitor or being the other guy? Where, you know, we're a team and then, you know, there's Brock over there. He used to play for the rivals, but then he couldn't hack it, so he came over here so he could try to, you know, win some games. I don't. And then I feel like the fan base won't fully embrace you either because they've just rooted against you for years, and now you're on this team. Like, you're going to have to really be good.
I feel like that, yeah, especially if they're good, they're going to overly embrace you, right?
Yeah,
because
wins cure all.
Especially if you help them beat that other team, your rival, they're going to love you forever. So, I mean,
I'd always be skeptical, though. You make one mistake in that Oklahoma State-Oklahoma game, people are going like, he's a spy, he's a traitor. Gundy sent him, dude.
Dropped the playbook. He gave it to him. He emailed it to him.
Just like people say Josh McDaniels is a spy for the Patriots to take out the Raiders. It's going to have that same kind of effect. Even if it's illogical, people are going to go, I don't know, man. You get an NIL deal from some Oklahoma State booster, go to Oklahoma and screw things up? I don't know.
Do you think that's eventually going to happen? Someone go from Alabama to Auburn or Auburn to Alabama?
I mean, we saw Jermaine Burton go from Georgia to Alabama, who name a hotter big-time rivalry in the SEC than that. Alabama, Georgia played twice last year. One's an SEC champion, one's a national champion. And then you leave that team who's now going back to – he left a championship team who is now the number one team for a second straight year to go to the Alabama, the rival in the conference. Like, if you can do that one, I think like at Oklahoma State to Oklahoma, like the rivalry between Alabama and Georgia is bigger than that one right now. Wouldn't you say?
Probably. I mean, there's
Alabama has those situational rivalries that get big. They had it with LSU forever to where that was the biggest game of the year for like
because of
4
the
years
stakes that the game has.
Yeah. So I think if you can go from national champion in conference to another team in conference who's a national champ, who's always the team you have to play to get to that thing, get to that championship. Who says Auburn to Alabama is so crazy? I mean, people consider it all the time in recruiting. Might go to Bama, might go to Auburn, commit to Auburn, flip to Alabama, commit to Alabama, flip to Auburn. I could see it.
True, I guess. Wow. And then did you see this? Speaking of Alabama and Auburn, did you see what the new UAB head football coach Trent Dilford said about UAB?
Can't say I did.
He said that they're looking for the best players in Alabama. He said, quote, if they go to the University of Alabama, that's awesome. But we're going to be the next best option.
He said Auburn. Don't think so.
Yeah. He's absolutely insane. It's not
crazy.
true.
It's crazy.
And he's doing it for attention. He got the attention that he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, man, there's a reason he thought he could take that shot. He obviously knew he couldn't take it at Alabama for a reason.
A lot of interesting coaching hires. Did you see Bethune-Cookman's hiring
Ed Reed? Dude.
But I think it's so cool that all of these like Hall of Fame
legends,
badass players are coming back. And then guys like Dion and Ed Reed and Eddie George are coming back to these HBCUs programs that like no one talks about. And then just like that overnight, you're getting recruits, you're making some money, you're winning games. Like, it's so cool to see that dimension of college football.
I agree.
And you instantly, I mean, look what Dion has done with his coaching career in what, like 3 years? Guy was never a head coach. He goes to Jackson State, and within a few years, he's now at Colorado. His son is the preseason favorite to win the Heisman.
That's insane.
You know, take that any way you want, but it's there. It's cool to see. And who doesn't want to see more of Ed Reed in the game of football?
I completely
even
agree.
Though he's not playing. It's like
he'd been kind of buried at Miami the last few years on the coaching staff.
Like I didn't even know that he was coaching at Miami.
No, he was like an assistant somewhere there. I don't know what his exact role was, but he'd been on the staff, yes, at Miami the last few years. So I think it's amazing. Ed Reed is one of my all-time favorite football players. Ed Reed was so much fun to watch on that nasty defense over there in Baltimore. Of course, you had Ray Lewis, but I mean, in the secondary, Ed Reed. One of my favorite one of my favorite videos that shows up often is that special teams play where Ed Reed, they're getting ready to punt the ball or whatever. He's moving towards the kicker and then like gets pushed down or something by somebody, turns around, runs all the way down the other direction and ends up laying the dude down. There was no quitting that guy ever. Ed Reed is awesome. And I'm really excited to see that. And yeah, I mean, people make the jokes. This is like a popular joke to say, and I'm going to apply it here with Ed Reed, but Dion walked so Ed Reed could fly. That's kind of what it feels like, right? I mean,
well, Dion started it all. I mean, Eddie George after that. And I mean, these are guys that, I mean, typically you're not going to see like first ballot dudes who can get jobs on TV and they don't need to coach. Mm-hmm. Dion doesn't need to coach. Ed Reed doesn't need to coach. But the fact that they're going out there because they're so passionate about it, and they want to bring change to a school that I hadn't seen in a while and put them on a stage that they haven't been on. I love it, man.
I think it's awesome. I just wish that,
in college football though, it works so perfect.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that in the pros. Like if Ed Reed came out and was like, I want to go coach the Raiders next year. I don't know how well that's going to work.
We're starting to see with Jeff Saturday already, right?
Yeah, and people are going to turn on you immediately. But like in college, it's more like a political position than it is a coaching position. Like you've got to win favor with people. You got to turn. Like Deion Sanders got Travis Hunter at Jackson State the same time he was being recruited by like Alabama.
He was the number one player in the country
in every school in the world, and Deion got him to go to Jackson State. Like. Pretty impressive stuff.
And you think the only thing that makes me sad about all these these popular black coaches going to these HBCUs. Tennessee, is it Tennessee State? So Tennessee State for Eddie George. You had Dion at Jackson State. You've got Ed Reed at Bethune-Cookman. That's awesome. Why can't it be A&M? Why can't we have one down? When's that one happen?
Hey, man.
When do we get one of them to come down here and coach
I don't know,
Alabama A&M? Because that's right down the road. That would be amazing. And it's so good for those particular universities, right?
Our
because
apologies to the current head coach at Alabama A&M.
I don't mean anything by it. We had him on our radio show, but what I mean
we'll get you a free edition of Dad's this month or next month.
There's no hiding how important guys like how high profile guys like that mean to HBCUs. It immediately gives you a leg up, and immediately because you're way more recognizable.
Definitely going to be hard to recruit against 3 guys that were on the cover of video games.
I won't say his name. I won't say his name, but I gave a tour to somebody from Alabama A&M here about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And we got to talking about football and Deion Sanders. And it was before he announced he was going to Colorado, I think, or right when he announced it. And he was talking about how great that was for Jackson State. And he wishes that, more people, he wished that they had not a new coach, but that, that kind of recognition could be brought to A&M, but it's not because Deion is such a recognizable figure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an obvious thing. So I think it'd be cool to have something like that right down the road.
Well, you're going to need it to compete.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't wait to see what Ed Reed's going to do. Cannot wait.
Yeah, dang, I was about to say something too. These new coaches coming in. I lost it.
Two more things here before we go. Couple of really cool things. The first one, have you watched a lot of bowl games yet? Partial?
Barely, man.
Probably
be honest,
the basketball game last night, if I had to guess.
The bowl games just don't do it for me.
There were some good ones on last night. Oregon came back and ended up winning their game. Last second touchdown pass from Bo Nix. The extra point that won it went off the upright and then bounced back through. That was nuts. Kansas, Arkansas was the game of the night last night.
That was a wild one.
With not only were they down in the third quarter 25 points, it was 38-13. With a minute and 9 seconds left.
God.
With a minute and 9 seconds left, Kansas was down 15 points and ended up forcing 2 overtimes.
It's insane.
And then they run a play with their quarterback goes for like 600 yards, 5 touchdowns, and on the 2-point conversion to try to tie it up and force a fourth overtime. There's 3 overtimes they went to, and try to force a fourth overtime. They ran a trick play away from their quarterback to the backup quarterback who'd filled in this year, and the dude threw it like 15 yards out of bounds.
Yeah, it was bad. He had a wide open guy too.
How do you throw it away on a must have it down? Like, it makes no sense. It's the last play of the game. You got to give someone a shot.
Well, I mean, if you're going to most important play of the game, if you're going to say, hey, I think we should maybe run a pass play for our backup quarterback, maybe not the best decision. Maybe could have just given it to a guy who started, or maybe your quarterback who just threw for 500 yards or whatever.
That was such a good game. And
maybe you do that.
It's nothing against Arkansas. You know how much I like Sam Pittman, but you know how much that game meant to Kansas.
I can't even be mad at the play, though, because the dude was wide open. They had a late releasing lineman or tight end who was wide open. He was rolling away from him, but I mean,
I was more mad
at that throw.
I was more mad at the throw. I mean, you're a backup quarterback. You started games for Kansas this year, and you just launched it. You Brucey'd yourself from long shot. Shouldn't have that popcorn.
I mean, don't expect your backup quarterback to come in cold on a 3 overtime game, line him up at receiver, run a reverse, and expect him to throw a pinpoint pass. You kind of set yourself up for that.
Kansas quarterback last night, Jalen Daniels, he did throw 2 interceptions, but he was 37 of 55, 544 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, with another 21 yards on the ground and another touchdown. He had 6 total touchdowns in that game.
It's a bad play call, man. That guy had 1 pass.
So
come on,
that hurt to see. I'm happy for Arkansas. And KJ Jefferson balled out last night too. He had 130 yards on the ground last night. He played really, really well. But Kansas battling back in that. They haven't been a bowl game forever. It meant a lot to them. They played really hard for that, and they came up a little short. So that stunk to see. Also, still not a fan of essentially the penalty kick situation in college football
with the overtimes.
Yeah,
they should just go back to regular overtime. It doesn't happen enough for us to have changed that rule.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a big fan of that. And then the last one, you've got Pitt getting ready to play in. I think it's coming up tomorrow. They're playing in a bowl game in Texas. And they had a few, I can't remember how many players. They sent their players home for Christmas and everything, got to go to their parts of the country and hang out with their family and all that stuff, as long as they were back at bowl practice this day, this time, right? Well, they're trying to get there, and there's flights being canceled and everything everywhere. And it just so happens UTEP's basketball coach, Joe Golding, he and his family were traveling and happened to run into these Pitt players trying to rent a car or find a flight that'll take them to where they need to go, and happened to just see their bags and say, you know what, and he was listening to them talk, and like they were talking, we got to be here, we got to be back by 9 a.m., we got a meeting or whatever. He and his family ended up renting another car big enough to drive them all the way to El Paso.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
That's awesome. Now, would you do that if your team was playing them, though?
Like if Pitt basketball is playing UTEP basketball?
Well, no, so it was the UTEP's basketball coach, but it was Pitt football players.
Right.
So if you're UTEP's basketball coach and you see a couple of Pitt football players and you know Pitt's about to play UTEP in football, you give them a ride? Or you
of
just
course. No, I give them the
tucking
ride.
hat and dipping out.
Then I give them the old X-Lax trick. You know what I mean? Hey, boys, who wants a little Gatorade before the game today? Here you go. Game time. See you later. That's what you do, man. A little gamesmanship. Not going to hurt anybody. Just a little gamesmanship. Hey, here's a cheers. Hey, thanks for the ride, coach. No problem, guys. Hey, we're going to the same place. I'm a Christian. What do you want from me? Hey, how about we cheers it real quick? All right. Now you're a hero. To some.
Remind me to never drink anything you hand me. Ever.
Look, I'm just saying,
Ever.
man.
Ever.
Coaching jobs are fragile. You got to take every edge you can possibly get. I saw a video of Jimmy Johnson yesterday from like the early 90s. He said coaches are too afraid to take the next step, to make a risk, because they don't want to get fired and they don't want to lose a chance to get another job in this league. But by God, I'm going to go out there and find every edge I possibly can. You tell me Jimmy Johnson didn't try the old X-Lax trick a couple times?
Probably.
Come on.
Couple questions here before we go. Ethan gets in on YouTube and he says, was Auburn playing 4D chess by getting Ole Miss to give Kiffin $9 million? Some are saying it. I've seen this a lot. And last night when Texas Tech spanked Ole Miss in the bowl game, Auburn fans came out again and were like, wow, it was great that we passed, or Kiffin passed or whatever, and we moved on. It still feels like when Auburn fans are doing that, it feels like they're being very butthurt and spurned by it. Like it feels like that you still know that was your first choice. You're trying to overcompensate by constantly reminding everyone that, hey, we're glad we missed out on Lane Kiffin. But really what you're saying is you're mad that your first choice spurned you, is what that says to me.
The quicker you accept it, the easier it is.
And I look, it's coming from a guy who has to watch, his team go 6-6 this year, and watch the coach that just got up and left your team out of nowhere, that had been negotiating it all football season, up and leave. I have to watch Lincoln Riley, and I have to watch Oklahoma fans constantly talk trash about him. Now, did I pull against them against Utah because he spurned my favorite team? Absolutely, I did. I absolutely did. It felt great, but I didn't spend all year, constantly rehashing the same things and all this. Just let it go.
If Auburn fired their coach and they said, look, I don't care who we get, but by God, we're going to make the University of Mississippi spend more money than they'd like. That's a pretty dumb goal. That's a dumb goal to have. That's not a good one. You should probably hire a coach that's going to help you win games.
Right.
I don't know if I'd call that 4D chess. I'd call that we wanted Lane Kiffin and he used us for a pay raise.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
You guys, 1D checkers. It's not good.
Auburn didn't use Lane Kiffin to get him paid more at Ole Miss. They got used by Lane Kiffin, but it still worked out fine. Hugh Freeze he turned your class into a top 20 class. He's probably going to win you 8 or 9 games a year annually. I mean, that's probably going to be his thing, which is a big upgrade from what you have right now. You're not in a bad spot, so I just don't understand why we're going back to this whole thing. I mean,
we're back to the glory days, man. The Gus bus is back.
See, if you were tall enough where your arm was above the rim at full stretch, is everything you shoot a dunk since you're pushing the ball down?
That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question.
How tall would you have to be?
I don't even think it's so necessarily your height, but maybe your wingspan.
Well, yeah, but you'd probably have to be tall to have a wingspan that big, right?
You'd have to be really close to the goal to have to be shooting at a downward trajectory for it to go in. So, no, it's not. It's not a dunk. You got to slam the ball through the hoop and grip the rim. Even if it's quick. Or if your hands, if you dunk the ball through, your fingertips glance the rim, I'll give you a dunk on that one too.
Yeah, I mean, we all know, but yeah.
Throwing it down and still scoring the basket while not actually dunking it is a laydown.
Although, by definition, it's a dunk. Not to me, though.
This is the dangerous precedent you set when you don't enforce the rules in a slam dunk contest just because the guy dressed up like Superman. We wouldn't even be having this conversation if they go, whoa. Turn off the lights. Stop the celebration. Pick up the glitter. That was a laydown. No points. Redo.
Every dunk contest needs an official that's way too serious about his job, like the official from dodgeball.
Yeah, we need a guy who doesn't take the rules as a joke. He's stern. Mm-hmm. He's stern but fair. He also subscribes to publications that come out every other month, 2 times per month.
He's also the guy. He's the kind of guy that before each contest, basketball game, dunk contest, whatever, he's taking a tape measure. Is it 10 feet? You say it's 10 feet, but is it 10 feet? You know what I mean?
And he's doing full warm-ups before the game. He's doing that thing with his legs where they do the high knee and then they kick it out wide. Yeah, do that number. Almost disconnected the whole show. He's doing that number.
He's standing there during
for like 45 minutes.
He's standing there during the national anthem with his hands behind his head, just
wiping tears out of his eyes, like, hey, dude,
getting ready to go.
You're a ref, man.
He rips his little pull-away pants off.
Like, dude, I think that ref might rip a 3 today if he gets his hand on the ball. That dude's ready.
Yeah. Oh, man.
We still got audio? I almost just give me a check real quick.
Yeah,
no, we're good. Okay, we're good.
Another thing. Sorry
about that.
Talking about whipping out the tape measure to measure the basketball goal. Mm-hmm. Another dad's edition. Don't measure your subs from Subway. Just trust them. You know what I mean? Don't whip out that's a foot. All right? That's a football. It's fine. Don't get on there, because what you're going to do, especially if you're like if you're a dad that does that and you're double dipped and you're married to Karen, you got a review online that's just going poorly for that place.
It's true.
That was 10 inches. My husband's furious.
I read online that a small at Starbucks is the same as a medium. They just give you different cups. Don't be that guy.
No, don't be that guy.
Just order a small coffee if you're convinced,
That's right, dude. I almost wore my dad jacket today, by the way.
That's a shame.
Oh, my God.
You haven't worn it since we talked about it.
Get this.
What's up?
My dad came down the day after Christmas, and he was helping me do dad stuff around the house.
Sweet.
Putting a new screen door on. My house was not built very well, so we had to maneuver some stuff to put a ceiling fan in one of our rooms in an unconditional way. But my wife comes in, and she goes, "Hey, what do you got here?" She like pulled me away from him. She goes, "When you got here, did you see the jacket that your dad was wearing?
Oh no,
looked kind of familiar." And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, did he take one of my jackets? Like, did I leave one at the house? Did he steal my jacket? And she walked me in there and she held it up. And she goes, "Look at this, almost the same jacket, almost the same exact jacket."
Whoa. You come from a long line of dad jackets.
Dude, there's no dispute now. It's a dad jacket.
Dang.
It's 100% a dad jacket.
Well, it already was.
Yeah, but like now
I'm glad. Yeah, now you've seen it.
Yeah.
That tan zipper jacket. Has it got kind of like a fuzzy collar? Is the collar kind of soft?
It's
a different color or something.
It's not fur, but it's fuzzy. Yeah,
the collar's
like
a different
soft
material than the. Oh yeah. What's it say on there? Is there
Columbia.
Some kind of stitching?
Oh, it's a Columbia jacket.
Oh, man. I'm proud of you, dude. Like I said, you're in your rookie year of dadhood. You're playing at a third, fourth year level.
Well, I mean, it helps.
You're like Mahomes. People are going like, how did he develop so quick?
It helps that my dad's like a borderline Hall of Fame dad. Like that's
good.
Like he's got some qualities. It's like you see that on a consistent Hall of Fame level of Hall of Fame dads. And there's some other stuff you're like, all right, well, this could probably hold him back a little bit.
Okay.
So a perennial all-star dad is what I grew up with.
This sounds like we're like judging dads that we saw at a dad's combine. Like got a lot of great skills, got a lot of arm talent. I don't know about the future though. I don't know how long he's going to last in this league. Got a bit of a short temper.
Another good dad thing you would see at a dad combine.
Yeah.
Collared shirt, tucked in, a little belly, a little bit of the belly,
little curve, just enough to let people know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was that?
Little curvature,
little curvature. They said little curvage,
little curvage,
curvage.
Got a little curvage there.
Well, sweet. Email amcbeth@trashpandasbaseball.com if you want to know where he got that jacket. If you want to be an early subscriber to Dad's, the every other month bi-monthly newsletter, we'll get you set up there. If you want to learn how to achieve a nice curvage around your midsection, we'll get you information there too. And if you want to support the Trash Pandas, you can do that as well. So that's like 4 birds with one stone. That's multitasking. That's something Dad's appreciated. Yeah. You're looking at me like you smell fresh.
Well, I just wanted to tell everyone gracias for joining the show.
Dang it! What are you doing? Just say thank you.
That's the last one for this year. Obviously, we're off tomorrow. We're not going to be in on Monday either. We're going to be back on Wednesday. So if you're listening on the recorded podcast, if you're watching live right now, you can tweet at us while we're gone. Get your dadisms in. What should be on the dad bi-monthly letter?
Send us some cover photos. If you're rocking a dad jacket, you're looking real good. You say, hey, someone snap this picture. I got a future. Let us know.
I want to know the biggest dad item you have in your house. The most dad item, whether it's clothes, shoes, anything like that. I have my answer.
Do you own a shoehorn?
No. What's it?
You don't even know what that is, do you? You got a lot to learn, big guy. I'll talk to you off air.
All right.
Yeah. You can't just expect me to.
I might have one. I don't know.
Summarize it. There's a lot of.
I might. I don't know.
Great use.
But I've got like the definitive one.
My parents' house got a shoehorn. That's all I'm saying.
I've got a remote control saddle for my chair.
What?
Goes around the arm, tucks in on this side, all your remotes
but
right here.
You're one shoehorn away.
So, just saying. So, on Twitter,
at
Tricky
on
Ricky,
Twitter,
on Twitter at Tricky Ricky RCTP.
Okay, I misheard you.
On Twitter at Tricky Ricky RCTP at Tony Trash Panda. Get at us. Send us your best dad pictures, your best dad items, your best dad clothes, and then the cover photos for Dad bi-monthly, every other month.
This is going to be sweet. I'm really looking forward to this.
Until then, we'll see you Wednesday, same time, 2 to 3, live on YouTube and wherever you get your Trash Panda or wherever you get your podcast, Trash Pandas Podcast Network. I'm Tony Mack. That's Tricky Ricky. We'll see you Wednesday.
Goodbye, everybody, in the year of 2022.
Gracias.